But they are so young that they believe that climate change is the way to go in order to save the planet that we live in. We have community partners that are with us through thick and thin, and that above all, really support what we're doing today. I would like to recognize it. My name, like I said before, is Virginia Rivera. I come to you from a tiny little island in Puerto Rico. We are part of the United States, and that just shows how big we can be. I want to say good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to each one of you because I know that you're all over in every corner of the world. I want to start by thanking our community partner, IIU. I am part of this magnificent organization. It is the leading virtual education system and global brand confederation. It is renowned for its innovative programs and its commitment to provide quality education since 2020 to more than 195 countries around the world. Under the visionary leadership of our founder, Mr. Piyush Pandit, he is a social activist. He's a change maker. He truly believes that education is the key and is the pillar to promote and protect our human rights. We also have IGEN, the 74 million young Americans born between 1995 and 2012. They comprise the most important generation in the nation's history, both in size and in composition. 1 out of 4 Americans from ages 5 to 22 are collectively dubbed the IGEN generation. And this is shortened for the internet generation. The IGEN handle won out over numerous other suggestions, namely Generation Z, which you may think or talk about, which was doomed to fail because there was no other context. Other than that, we have replacements like the Homeland generation, Centennials, Post-Millennials, the Founders, IGEN, no doubt, is probably the most important generation in our history. So that is why it is so important to us. We also want to thank the GSFN, which has been established to provide a common platform that helps its members, financial institutions, benefit from opportunities emerging through transformation to sustainable lending, support its members in developing capacities to integrate sustainability across the board. It fosters initiatives that helps us build public-private partnerships, promoting sustainable lending and investment. It offers networking opportunities to members, financial institutions, multilateral organizations, government bodies, business and industry, and all the other stakeholders for sharing experiences and ideas. And most importantly, it provides a forum to support and develop the execution of sustainable practices. We are so proud of the work they do. And now I'm going to introduce to you a IIU sister, somebody that truly believes that education, again, is the key to everything. She is the director for foreign affairs in our James International School, but she is an educationist in her own right, thanks to her magnificent education, her preparation, and definitely her experience around the world. So I want to thank first of all, for saying yes to my dearest Ermina Raescu and our host for today. Welcome, Ermina.
Thank you so much, my dear Virginia. You bring us so much positive energy. Thank you so much for an introduction. And yes, I am also representative IIU, and I'm proud to be with you all today. Thank you, dear Virginia. Thank you, dear SRIVIDHYA, also for your great initiative.
May I take a couple of minutes here to welcome the panel of experts who have joined us on the session on this platform and a little briefing about today's topic. Is that okay, Ms. Ermina?
It's perfect.
Thank you, Dr. Virginia. Thanks for that mention about our community partners, and a warm welcome to one and all. Well, we have gathered here today to talk about the COP2030. And what is this COP2030 Youth Summit is all about? Youth Ministry is all about. So moving further, this Ministry of Youth, bearing the plate of COP2030, is uniquely positioned to facilitate a crucial connection between the COP2030 presidency and the youth stakeholders. On that note, we definitely welcome all these youth ambassadors who are representing themselves today as ministers to voice out their views on the particular topic that has been assigned to them on this day of 20th Jan 2024. So what do we do actually in COP 2030 is it serves as a vital conduct to streamline youth coordination between the governments and United Nations Framework Convention on Climatic Change, that is UNFCCC. And the ministry can help bridge the gap between the COP 2030 presidency and the youth stakeholders by creating a more effective and efficient communication channel. So by serving as a missing link, this ministry will help bring together the younger generation and the policymakers to address the climatic challenge more comprehensively. So our youth ministry convoy will recognize the importance of amplifying the voices of all the young people, especially those of often marginalized due to their age, ethnicity, disability, and other various social economic status. So we are becoming inclusive in organizing such a committee that is committed to provide a platform for a substantive youth policy input and other outcomes that are going to come out of this conference that will contribute to a positive social change. To end there, our youth ministry convoy emphasizes in engaging and empowering the youth from the most vulnerable communities, including the indigenous people and the communities at the highest risk. So through these efforts, we seek to promote a more inclusive and equitable society that values the contribution of all its youth ministers. So moving ahead to today's topic, exactly what is it about? We are going to talk about the resources. When we talk about the resources, we all know that our Earth is the only planet that we have, and we don't have any other planet other than that. On that note, we do have experts who have joined us today for summarizing all our speakers' inputs. Dr. Virginia from IIU, thank you so much, ma'am. Dr. Terimilio Aduloju, if I'm getting your name right. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Thanks for joining us. It's a great pleasure having you. And Dr. D. Lakshmi, representing IGEN, and Professor General Charles. He will be joining us a little later. He is representing IIU. Again, Dr. Zakira from IGEN and Dr. S.O. Adibisi from GSFN. Last but not the least, Dr. Renuka Thakur, representing GSFN, will be the panel of experts who will be summarizing all the inputs which are shared by our youth governors or the youth ministers who have joined us today. So moving further on today's topic, what is that they're going to deliberate upon? Is that they're going to deliberate upon renewable sources, energy for powering the future. So on that note, we have two speakers, that is Al Hussein Abdullahi and Titus George, who will be talking about make renewable energy technology a global public good. Thank you so much. And Dr. Hussein Abdel Fattah Qasim and Kevin Acharya Kuria, representing from GSFN, they'll be talking about improve global access to components and raw materials. Mr. Vishal Swami and Tejaswini Samantha from IGEN and Tejaswini Samantha from GSFN will be talking about level the playing field for renewable energy technologies. Moving ahead, Mulamba Yoga Perseverance representing GSFN and Gayatri Shankar from IGEN will be talking about shift energy subsidies from fossil fuels to renewable energy. Thank you and very much welcome to this platform. Alexis Sanderlas and Javadi Masundi representing from GSFN will be talking about triple investments in renewables. Janeshwar Premanand and Palak Khanna will be talking about renewable energy powering a safer future. And last but not the least, Joaquin Carlo Castro, representing GSFN, will be talking about renewable energy powering a safer future. On that note, we extend a warm welcome to one and all, and over to Madam Armina to welcome the first speaker on board. Thank you so much, Ms. Armina.
Great, my dear SRIVIDHYA. Now I want to invite Sir Titus George, if he's there. He will talk about his topic will be make renewable energy technology a global public good. He is student SRM Institute of Science and Technology and partner representative IGEN today. Welcome.
Thank you, ma'am. Is my audio and video visible?
Audio is visible, is audible, but you are not visible yet. I think some technical problems.
Your video is not visible, ma.
1 minute, ma'am. Now, ma'am?
No, it's not visible to you. Yeah, no.
Mommy?
Okay, let's come back to Mr. Titus later. So can we have the next two speakers for the other topic? Dr. Hussain Abdel Fattah Qasim. Or should we call Elvin? Okay, we'll go ahead with Mr. Vishal. Mr. Vishal, can you please on your camera? Could we just, Mr. Vishal? Vishal, are you
Yes, there? I'm turning it on.
Are you there? Yeah.
Yep, I'm there.
If it's okay, we can just go ahead with you, Mr. Vishal.
Yes, no problem.
Thank you.
Yep.
So, Ms. Armina, you can welcome Mr. Vishal Swami, who's going to speak about. Yeah,
will be a pleasure. His topic is level the playing field for renewable energy technologies. He's founder and chair Steward Sustainability Institute 4H Club, partner representative IGEN. Welcome, Sir Vishal Swami.
Thank you so much. I'll share my screen. Perfect. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, good to go.
Great.
Please go ahead,
Right.
Vishal.
Perfect.
Thank you.
All right. Welcome, everyone. My name is Vishal Swami, and I'm a representative from IGEN from the United States. Today, I'll be talking about how to level the playing field for renewable energy technologies. We'll kind of start by exploring traditional methods, then we'll move on to what methods we use at our institute, and then after, we'll end with exploring a project that we did using these different methods. So the agenda, once again, we'll do some introductions and like I mentioned, go through that main topic, leveling the playing field for renewable energy, and then going through our project that we completed and ending with a final statement that I hopefully you take home and utilize in the future. So about me, I'm the founder and chair of the Steward Sustainability Leadership Institute 4-H Club in partnership with Michigan State University and 4-H, which is a nationwide organization in the United States. Along with that, I'm the founder of the project we're going to talk about today, Project Solar Parks, which is a type of renewable energy. And I'm also a council member on the Green Schools National Youth Council. Along with that, in regards to awards, recent awards I've won, being named a 4-H National Youth in Action finalist and a Governor's Service Award winner in Michigan. So that's a little bit about me. Now we'll get into the main topic for today. What exactly does it mean to level the playing field for renewable energy? Well, first, it means to create an equitable and fair environment that removes obstacles and biases, allowing renewable energy sources to compete on an equal footing with traditional energy sources. This involves, you could address barriers, promote equal opportunities, and implement policies that encourage the widespread adoption and also fair competition of renewable energy technologies. So now that we understand exactly what it means to level the playing field, now we'll explore different methods of how you can do that. We'll start with the traditional methods, what's been done in the past. The first main method is to integrate external costs, and that's something we can discuss more in detail here, but integrating external costs, which includes climate change costs and health impacts into the energy equation, is a key strategy for leveling the playing field in favor of renewable energy. And by accurately pricing traditional energy sources to reflect their environmental and social impacts, renewable energy becomes much more economically competitive. Now, that's integrating external costs and including the environmental impact into the price of traditional energy sources like fossil fuels, which brings renewable energy and those traditional sources at the same price point, which makes it much more easier to level the playing field. Now, the next one we'll explore is cutting fossil fuel subsidies. Fossil fuel subsidies, they're financial incentives or support provided by different governments to the fossil fuel industry, which can include coal, oil, and natural gas. So those are all fossil fuels. And by cutting out inefficient fossil fuel subsidies gradually and in a structured way, this can help realign market dynamics towards more sustainable energy usage and make the transition smoother for consumers and economies. Now, on one side, we have cutting fossil fuel subsidies, but on the other side, we also have providing incentives for renewable energy usage. And in that case, providing incentives for renewable energy usage can encourage businesses to adopt those practices and can make it much easier for economies and the government to start using those as well. So those are all the traditional methods on what I just described now. Now we'll kind of transition into what we used here at the Institute. And there are two main things we're going to talk about. Youth advocacy, that was a big point of how we leveled the playing field, as well as public-private partnership, which I think is super important. We'll start with youth advocacy. Primarily, our organization raised awareness about the importance of renewable energy and how it's far superior to traditional methods, additional environmental benefits, by involving a large group of youth in our message. The youth completed the research, worked on all our different projects, and directly talked with these government leaders, which really made our message so powerful. The next thing is public-private partnership. In our project, which I'm going to describe later, we chose to collaborate with local county government and a private solar technology business. Collaborations between public and private sectors can facilitate the flow of investment into renewable energy projects. Governments and private companies working together can secure funding for large-scale initiatives that might be difficult for one sector to do alone. Now that we've gone through the different methods of leveling the playing field for renewable energy, now I will go into further detail regarding how we utilize these strategies to implement our solar project. In this case, we named it Project Solar Parks. So let's start by understanding why we exactly began this project. What's the problem statement? Well, the problem statement is that 17% of people who visit parks get lost due to poor visibility. Another statistic is that there's a 36% reduction in the number of property crimes and thefts after adding lighting. Third one is community input we receive. Parks without lighting don't create a sense of safety and encourage community members to utilize the space less frequently. Now, although all these statistics say that we need lighting in parks, current solutions to this involve conventional electrical lighting, which has devastating environmental impacts, high maintenance costs, and is wildly inefficient. That is why we began by using solar technology. To address this problem, SSLI collaborated with Oakland County Sustainability Director Aaron Kittel to pilot solar technology in one of our local parks. But due to the novel nature of renewable energy, we had to first conduct rigorous research into its capabilities, manufacturers, and designs. Once we conducted all of that research, we then gathered the details and discussed them with Oakland County Parks Coordinator Sarah Cook-Malin. We then chose Groveland Oaks County Park. You can see in the picture on the left, that's where we're at, Groveland Oaks County Park, as a location for our pilot project. And finally, in late 2022, we coordinated a meeting with our manufacturer, First Light Technologies, and the park executive team, part of the government. And that's going back to our public-private partnership, because we as a youth institute, as well as the government and a local business, work together to make this happen. So after all of this, the county approved our pilot of $10,000 to implement solar bollards set for delivery and implementation in March of 2023. And we already implemented all the bollards to date. And currently we're working on the expansion plan. After implementing this initial pilot project at Groveland Oaks for $10,000, we then conducted immense research into whether it was the appropriate solution for parks in Oakland County. Well, to keep it short, it was the best solution for Oakland County. We received overwhelmingly positive results from campground goers and other executives at the park team who visited in Groveland Oaks. Even the park supervisor, who is in charge of the maintenance of the whole park, said that it has been in use for 6 months and there's been no maintenance so far. Even currently, 12 months later after the project, there's no maintenance that they had to do, which is in stark contrast to traditional electrical sources. Even park guests said that the lights by the playground that we installed were very nice. They didn't think that solar lights would give off so much light. Now, this is especially important because that park guest, like in the past, didn't know that solar technology could give off so much light. And that's part of leveling the playing field by increasing public perception of these different renewable energies. Now, currently, we're working on expanding this pilot program, which is wildly successful, to every park in Oakland County and across the state of Michigan. Now, after we discussed this project, I wanted to end with a final statement. All in all, let us harness the power of inspiration to fuel our commitment towards a sustainable future. Each of us holds the potential to leveling the playing field of renewable energy in our various countries and institutes. Embrace this opportunity, ignite change, and together let's create a world where clean energy propels us towards a brighter and greener future. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That was a wonderful presentation indeed. And with more statistical data as such, and Vishal has really nailed it in the beginning of the session and by giving us a very good start. Thank you, Vishal. And may I request Dr. Zakira to summarize the presentation, please. Thank you.
Good evening, all. Is it audible, ma'am?
Yeah, you are. Please go ahead, ma'am.
So, Vishal, first of all, I congratulate you for your nice presentation. So, you are from US representing IGEN. So, your topic is leveling the playing field for renewable energy technology. You have taken a topic, it's very well explained. So, you have started with how the solar parks are installed and how you have identified the problems. That is, you have traditional method as well as your own method in your US country. So it's a very well initiated with young minds. So this is program for youth ministry. So as a youth, you have initiated renewable energy very well, and you have made a difference in climate change in your state. So I think you are also expanding your project, right? So this first he has started with the problem statement that 17 percentage of people get lost due to the invisibility. So he had come up with a solution to install the lightning with the renewable energy setup so that you can save energy as well as you can utilize the renewable energy resources. And also he has mentioned that 36 percentage of crimes are also due to this lightning effect. So we have taken a very well initiative of installing the solar wallets in all the parks. So I wish to extend your project to all over the state. All the best, Vishal.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Vishal. Congratulations for that good start. Thank you so much. Moving ahead is Mr. Titus George. Mr. Titus, are you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Your video.
Now is
can
my
you please open the
video clear, ma'am?
Yes, your video is clear. Ms. Armina, can we please welcome Mr. Titus George for his presentation, please? Thank you.
Of course, it'll be my pleasure. Welcome, Mr. Titus. Mr. Titus is Titus George is student SRM Institute of Science and Technology, partner representative IGEN. He will talk about his topic will be make renewable energy technology a global public good. Thank you, and the stage is yours, Mr. Titus.
Thank you. Is my screen visible?
Yes,
Yeah,
now it's
quite
visible.
Please go ahead. Thank you.
Yeah. Make renewable energy technology a global public good. This is Titus George, a second year computer science BTech student in SRM Institute of Science and Technology. So these are the contents which we will be discussing today. We will start off with the most basic question, like what is energy? Their history, types of energy such as renewable and non-renewable, and the side effects of non-renewable energy, renewable energy technology, the future aspects, and much more. So this slide says us about the history of energy. Many years ago, we were called as hunter-gatherers. Our main source of energy was fire. Then it was period of agricultural societies, followed by industrial societies. During this period, people started using fossil fuel, electricity, nuclear power, etc. The next was growth of renewable energy as a source of energy. So now, what is energy and their types? Energy is defined as ability to do work. Energy is defined as the ability to do work, and they are broadly classified into two main categories: renewable energy and non-renewable energy. Renewable energy sources cannot be depleted over time. Examples are hydropower, wind, solar, and tidal. Whereas, on the other hand, non-renewable energy resources deplete over time. Examples are petroleum, coal, gas, etc. They have high carbon emissions. Now, over here, we'll be looking into renewable energy technology. These are the various renewable energy technology. We have bioenergy, hydropower, solar, wind, ocean, and geothermal. These are some pictorials of renewable energy technology: hydro energy, wind energy, solar energy, tidal energy, geothermal energy, biomass. Now the question which arises in our mind is why the world is turning to renewable energy. Well, the answer is quite simple. Nowadays, most of the electricity is generated from fossil fuels, meaning examples are coal, diesel, and petroleum. And these resources give rise to greenhouse gases, due to which climate is changing drastically. So now we'll be looking into what is solar energy. Solar energy is radiation from sun. capable of producing heat, causing chemical reactions, or generating electricity. China leads the list by producing 417.72 terawatt hours of solar energy. India ranks fourth in the list. There, there are nearly 40 solar power plants in India. The largest one is in Rajasthan, and it is named as Badla Solar Park. This slide shows the power generated from solar energy over the years. It is evident from the graph that the power generated from solar energy is increasing year after year. Let us all hope that a day comes when all the power generated is from renewable sources such as solar, wind, tidal, and geothermal wind energy. In this, electricity is generated through wind by using kinetic energy produced by the effect of air currents. This slide shows us power generated from wind over the years. We can again see a steady increase similar to solar energy. Tidal power plant or tidal energy is a form of hydropower that converts energy obtained from tides into useful forms of power, mainly electricity. They are more predictable compared to solar and wind energy. Because during rainy seasons or winter seasons, solar energy is of not much use. So now we must not get confused, like thinking that tidal power plant and hydropower plant are same. Hydropower plant power is generated by a potential energy of water as it flows from high area to a low area. Whereas in tidal power plant, power is generated by movement of water according to tides. Sadly, India does not have one due to the cost and environmental concerns. Let us hope India has its own tidal power plant. This slide shows us that there is an upward trend in the numbers, but the numbers are so low. This shows us that we are not using tidal energy to its maximum potential. As I've said earlier, they are more predictable to solar and wind energy. Geothermal energy. Geothermal energy is heat from the earth. India has around 350 energy locations. Manikaran in Himachal Pradesh and Puga Valley in Ladakh are the largest geothermal plants in India. United States of America is the country which produces most geothermal energy, 3,794 terawatt hours of geothermal energy. This slide shows the geothermal energy over the years. Though we can see an upward trend, the numbers are much less compared to solar and wind. Now we'll be looking into non-renewable energy effects. Harmful gases are released, rise in temperature causing skin problems, breathing diseases due to burning of coal, and change in temperature. This slide shows us the change of temperature over the years. Surprisingly, we can see after 2000s, the global temperature has increased by more than 1 degree Celsius. Though the number might sound insignificant, it is a matter of concern as it can intensify extreme heat waves across the country. These are the effects, harmful effects due to non-renewable energy resources. Global warming is increasing. Glaciers are melting very fast. Ratio of earthquake is increasing. Ratio of tsunami is increasing. The level of ocean is increasing. Melting of glaciers. Melting of glaciers directly results in increase in sea level. Melting of glaciers can be a reason for extinction of species. And due to this, we get very little or a very little amount of fresh water. Due to melting of glaciers rapidly, it gives rise to tsunami. Unique type of tsunami landslides has caught the attention of the scientists in recent years. Those resulting from glacier retreat, melting due to climatic change. This shows us the current scenario. It is evident that wind energy is the largest producer of electricity, followed by solar, biomass, and hydro. This slide says us about the contribution of renewable energy source in production of power. Though the numbers are promising, we are just being able to make nearly 35% of energy from renewable energy by the year 2025. These are the special measures taken by the government to promote growth of renewable energy in India. Initiated round-the-clock power from the RE power projects, renewable energy hybrid projects, establishment of solar cities, renewable purchase obligations, waiver of interstate transmission system charges. So these were the goals of COP26. Now the question arises is what is COP? COP is abbreviated as Conference of Parties. Their key task is to review emission. So the goals were countries were called on to reach net zero carbon emissions by 2050. Mobilize funds, meaning developed nations were asked to mobilize 100 billion in climate finance per year for poorer nations, protect ecosystem and for collaboration. These were PM Modi's 5 big goals for India: achieving net zero by 2070, reducing total projected carbon emissions by 1 billion tons starting now till 2030, increasing renewable energy component to 50% of our total energy requirements by 2030, reducing carbon intensity by 45% by 2030, increasing non-fossil energy capacity to reach 500 gigawatts by 2030. So the latest COP which happened was held in Dubai, United Arab Emirates from 30 November to 12th December 2023. Aim was to limit global temperature rise to 1.5 degrees Celsius, helping vulnerable communities adapt to climate change, achieving net zero by 2050. In this, more than 70,000 delegates were expected to attend COP28. Business leaders, young people, climate activists, and journalists, etc., attended the meeting. Reduce, reuse, recycle. This should be our mantra to save our Earth's precious resources. When the winds of change blow, some people build walls and others build windmills. Let's be the ones to build windmills. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Mr. Titus. That was a wonderful presentation and with all details. And we are so happy to have you here because you are the first student who is representing SRM Engineering, SRM group, basically. Thank you so much. That was again a wonderful presentation, and we really appreciate your immense effort and the other, in the sense like very inclusive data that you have covered across the globe for keeping India as an example. Thank you so much, Mr. Titus. Moving
Thank you, ma'am.
over to Dr. Zakira, ma'am, to summarize the summary.
So, good, Titus, you have given a very good explanation. So, topic of Titus is make renewable energy technology a global public goods. So, he very well started with what is renewable energy and non-renewable energy. We have explained the evolution of energy from starting from how we have started with the conventional, and now we are going with the renewable energy resources. And for each renewable energy resources, we have taken some example, and he have clearly explained what is solar, what is wind power, and then he has given a statistical data that how the India should reach the generation of power with solar and renewable energy for 2025. And he also had a statistical data that we should be able to move on to the renewable energy to achieve the net zero emission. So he has also stated our India's motto for 2030 and 2070, that to have the net zero by 2070 and also to have the emission free by 2030. So very good explanation, Titus. So all the best for your next projects also. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. So moving ahead, like who is our next speaker? Ms. Ermina, who you plan to call the next?
Yes, my dear, I am here, and I'm thinking call the next speaker, Sir Dhyanashwar Premanand. If you are here, please tell us.
Okay, let's have a look at this.
Hello,
Yeah,
ma'am.
Dhyanashwar
Is
Yes.
here?
Yes, ma'am.
He is here, my dear.
Ma'am, shall
Yes.
I
Hello.
present my screen, ma'am?
Please.
Hello, ma'am.
I want to just let me to present you. Dhyanashwar Premanand is student, Amet University, and partner representative IGEN, and he will talk today about renewable energy powering safer future. Welcome.
Okay,
You
ma'am.
can
Thank you,
share.
ma'am. Is my screen visible, ma'am?
Yes, your screen is visible. You can go on to the slideshow mode. Yes, now it is. Please go ahead, dear. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone present here. I am Dhyaneshwar from Amat University, studying third year BEE. Today, I am going to present on the topic renewable energy powering a safer future. In this, next, what we are going to see. These are the contents which we are going to see in the upcoming slides. So first, introduction to renewable energy. Renewable energy. What is renewable energy? Renewable energy which is obtained from natural resources that can be renewed like sun, wind, water, and geothermal. Unlike fossil fuels, which are only limited to an extent, after the certain amount or certain days of usage, it gets finished. So why renewable energy is preferred? Renewable energy is preferred only because of its eco-friendly nature and its economical benefits. It reduces the carbon emission and air pollution. It decreases the dependence of fossil fuels from foreign energy sources. And renewable energy sector increases the job creation and economical growth. So what are the different types of renewable energy sources? We know solar energy. As we know it, solar energy is obtained from the sun's radiation, which it converts to electricity. It is very clean, abundant source of energy. It has the potential to power our homes, business, and even an entire city. Hydro energy. Hydro energy, or also called as hydroelectric power, it generates energy from flowing or falling water. Hydro energy is very predictable and reliable source of energy. So this doesn't have any fluctuations unlike solar and wind. So wind energy. Wind energy is obtained from the power of the wind to spinning turbines and generate electricity. It is very clean and renewable source of energy. It can be installed in either in the middle of the sea or in the middle of any lands where the speed of the wind is very high. It produces no emission. It does not pollute our environment, or it does not contribute any reduction in the greenhouse gas emissions. Geothermal energy. Geothermal energy is obtained from the heat stored within the Earth's core. This geothermal power is tapped into the natural heat of the Earth to produce power. Biomass energy. So biomass energy is an organic material such as wood, agricultural residues, and organic waste. These are burned. From that combustion, the energy is produced to produce electricity. So what are the positive aspects of this renewable energy? It reduces the carbon emission in our environment. It increases our energy independence among the foreign countries. It creates job opportunities in various renewable sectors. It reduces the cost of energy production in various sectors. Challenges and solutions. As we know, if there is some advantages, there must be some disadvantages. There are technical advancement and a high upfront cost. As we know, the technology is compared to the olden days, it's very advanced. We know AI is getting more improved day by day. So considering that the panels producing a solar panel and wind energy turbines must be regular, must be so inefficient, efficient compared to it high upfront cost. So we know that installing a solar panel in our homes will be more high upfront cost comparing to the efficiency. Renewable energy case studies. So in this section, we'll see the different case studies or different ways where the different type of renewable energy is installed. First, the solar farms, which are installed in California, USA. It generates equivalent of powering 20,000 homes and reduces CO2 emission by 30,000 tons annually. And wind turbine project, which is located in Scotland, UK, produces energy for 50,000 households and save 1 million tons of CO2 emission per year. And hydrogen power, it is located in Norway, supplies 1 million homes, reducing the greenhouse gas emission by 1.2 million tons annually. Geothermal power plant, It is located in Iceland, providing an heat and electricity to 85% of the Iceland population. Biomass plant, which is located in Denmark, converts the organic waste into a renewable energy, powering a 40,000 households, reducing a landfill waste. So, future outlooks and opportunities, emerging technologies, potential growth, and market trends. Emerging technologies, we know that nowadays the solar panels comes in more efficient and with lower cost. Next generation wind turbines came so that the harnessing of wind energy is more efficient. We know that batteries plays a huge role in this renewable sector. So batteries have got an upgrade from normal lithium-ion batteries to hydrogen fuel cells. But conclusion, in choosing renewable energy, we are choosing a safer future. By tapping into the power of sustainable resources like the sun and the wind, we are not just reducing the environmental impact, we are securing a cleaner, healthier world for the generations to come. It is a simple, powerful choice that echoes our commitment to a safer, more sustainable future for our planet and its inhabitants. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Dhyaneshwar Premananda, representing Amit University. It was a wonderful presentation where you covered about all the renewable energy, starting from the solar panel, the windmills, and the wind panel, and other reliable sources of energy that we can just bring in as an alternative, such that we become more sustainable in the future. That's what is required for powering the future. Thank you so much. On that note, I would like to welcome Dr. Zakira, ma'am, to summarize his presentation. Thank you, ma'am. Please go ahead.
Sagira ma'am won't be available, ma'am. Shall I conclude, ma'am?
Yes, you can. Yeah, please. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Dhaneshwar Premanan, for giving a wonderful presentation about renewable energy, the powering safer future. So in this presentation, he has told what is renewable energy, what are the present renewable energy resources available, what are the positive aspects, even though we go for renewable energy, what are the challenges we are facing at present, and to face the challenges, what are the solutions to be taken, and some of the case studies he has given, and future opportunities also has been explained by him. Why renewable energy is preferred is it will be reducing the carbon emission, and it will be reducing the pollution, and we are mostly depending upon the fossil fuels, which can be reduced by using these renewable energy resources. He has explained in a very good manner. And some of the renewable energy resources like solar, hydro energy, wind energy, geothermal, biomass has been explained by him. And some of the positive aspects such as reduced carbon emission, how the job creation will be given. Because of renewable energy, we can use advanced technologies. Thereby, we will be giving opportunity to the many of the people. And how we are relating with the energy, how we are becoming as a energy independent, and how the cost has been saved if you go for long-term process of using this renewable energy has been explained by him. And what are the challenges? So as we are moving on from fossil fuels to renewable, there might be a interruption in the power supply. Why? Because in fossil fuel we can get the uninterrupted power supply. If we go for renewable, it is variable in nature, so we can face some challenges. How we can overcome that challenges, and with the help of the advanced technology, as explained in a very good manner. And then how we can connect these systems with the grid, thereby making the usage of fossil fuel to a reduced manner. And he has also projected some of the case studies for all the renewable energy resources. And finally, what are the future outlooks? That is, emerging technology can be used. Thereby, we can, for example, we can go for advanced solar panels, and wind turbine and energy storage system can be improved by using the hydrogen fuel cells instead of the presently using cells, and the promotional growth in various areas, how the market trend has been increasing because of the advancements in the energy storage technology has been briefly explained by him. And all the very best for your upcoming research in this area, Dhanesh Premanan. Thank you, Pa.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Moving ahead, may I request Ms. Armina to take the lead and to welcome the next speaker on board. Thank you.
For sure, my dear SRIVIDHYA. Let's go further to the next speaker. She will talk about shift energy subsides from fossil fuels to renewable energy. And she is Mulamba Yoa Perseverance. Please, if you are there, open your microphone and your camera, my dear.
Yes. Mulamba, you need to open your camera, please. Miss Mulamba, Perseverance. Yes.
She's here.
Hello. Hello.
Welcome.
Welcome, dear.
I don't speak English. I speak French. Je ne sais pas comment je vais me présenter.
Okay, so it's an open invitation or a request to the platform. Those who have joined us on the platform, the summary, if anyone can brief her presentation in the French and give the translation, it will be very helpful. Anyone can do it. So, Ms. Mulamba, please go ahead with your presentation. It's all yours. The platform is all yours. You can start sharing your screen.
Yes. And she's advocate SDG with us today.
Bonjour à tous. Je m'appelle Persévérance Mulamba de la République démocratique du Congo. Je suis jeune syndicaliste à la Confédération syndicale du Congo. Je suis aussi la présidente du comité de jeunes ITF RDC. Je suis aussi membre de la CESI Afrique. Ma présentation d'aujourd'hui, le thème c'était passer l'estivation à l'énergie des combustibles fossiles aux énergies renouvelables. L'énergie fossile se décline à travers divers usages, la production d'électricité et de chaleur en brillant du charbon dans les centrales thermiques, par exemple, mais également les transports thermiques de véhicules, à l'instar du kérosène pour les avions. Pourquoi devons-nous focaliser aux énergies renouvelables? Les énergies renouvelables sont bien adaptées à la production et à l'utilisation dans les zones rurales et présentent un potentiel important de création d'emplois verts. Les sources d'énergie renouvelables, comme le solaire,
Excusez-moi, Persévérance, excusez-moi. Si vous avez une présentation, vous pouvez le partager. Ce n'est pas mon problème.
J'utilise pas un ordinateur sur mon téléphone, donc il n'y a pas moyen que je puisse partager.
Oui, oh, oui, oui.
Je peux continuer?
Oui, oui.
Les sources d'énergie renouvelables, comme le solaire, l'éolien, il y a la biomasse et la géothermie, peut être facilement exploitée de nombreuses zones rurales. La production et la fourniture de systèmes d'énergie propres dans les zones rurales peuvent générer de bons revenus pour les producteurs, des loyers fonciers pour les installations et des emplois verts dans la construction, l'exploitation, l'entretien et la distribution des systèmes. Les énergies renouvelables offrent une solution économiquement efficace pour les populations rurales. Avec l'accès à une énergie abordable, un éventail d'autres activités productives peuvent se développer, en particulier la transformation des aliments, le stockage et le transport des produits agricoles. Beaucoup de ces emplois peuvent être attrayants pour les jeunes comme moi. Pour la promotion des emplois verts, pour les jeunes, un projet sur les emplois décents, les jeunes être financés par les gouvernements ou les partenaires visant à créer des opportunités d'emploi pour les jeunes dans des activités écologiquement durables et à promouvoir des emplois verts au niveau national et local. Ces projets nous permettra de créer des emplois verts dans les énergies renouvelables en établissant des unités de biogaz. Ceci permet également la production d'engrais organiques de haute qualité. Le biogaz est une forme d'énergie renouvelable produite à partir de matières organiques telles que les bousses d'animaux, de ferme et le reste d'agriculture. Nous devons repenser l'avenir de notre environnement et nous attaquer au changement climatique et à la dégradation de l'environnement avec ambition et urgence. Ce n'est qu'alors que nous pourrons protéger la santé, le moyen de subsistance, la sécurité alimentaire et la nutrition de tout le peuple et faire en sorte que notre nouvelle norme soit meilleure. Les mesures peuvent être mises en place par les gouvernements sont promouvoir des emplois verts dans les énergies renouvelables grâce à des pratiques plus durables et à des conditions de travail décentes, étendre la couverture et la portée de la protection sociale adaptée au climat, renforcer les compétences pour un avenir du travail plus vert dans les zones rurales, diversifier l'économie rurale et développer des entreprises vertes durables, réaliser le potentiel d'emplois verts dans le tourisme durable, améliorer les infrastructures rurales et restaurer les écosystèmes grâce à des travaux verts. Pour en finir, dynamiser l'économie rurale grâce à l'accès à l'énergie propre. Merci.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So, Ms. Armina, would you like to do a summary for her? And you can do the translation as well, if you can. Thank you.
Of course, Perseverance talk about the green energy, about the exploitation of energy, in her country, about renewable energy, what is and how it's work and how many types of energy. And she said that it's so important to promote innovation in energy technology and encourage the development of energy storage solution to make the use of renewable energy more viable for the future. She say also to protect, how to protect our home, a single home. We have just one home, Mother Earth. Thank you so much, dear SRIVIDHYA. The stage is yours now. Thank you, Perseverance. Merci beaucoup, Perseverance. Excellent presentation.
So should we welcome the next speaker, Mr. Vishnu Pada Bose?
Yes, let's go further to Mr. Vishnu. 1 second.
He's going to speak on the. I saw him. He just logged in.
Yes.
Mr. Vishnu. Dr. Vishnu is still connecting to the audio. Right. Can we go ahead with the other girl who wanted to speak from IGEN? Gayatri. Miss Gayatri, are you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, please go ahead then. Ms. Armina, can we please welcome Ms. Gayatri?
For sure, will be a pleasure to welcome her. Ms. Gayatri Shankar will talk also about shift energy, subsides from fossil fuels to renewable energy. She is a student, BS Abdurrahman, Crescent Institute of Science and Technology, partner representative IGEN. The virtual stage is yours. Welcome.
Is my screen visible, ma'am?
Will be, yes, is visible.
A very good evening to all present here. I am Gayatri Shankar, currently pursuing my BTech Triple at BS Abdurrahman Crescent Institute of Science and Technology. Now my topic is shift energy subsidies from fossil fuels to renewable energy. These are the contents we are going to look into. Fossil fuels and renewable energy, its causes and effects, shifting energy subsidies from fossil fuels to renewable energy, ways to start the renewable energy transition, limitations, challenges, and obstacles, and also community and government actions. First, let's look into what is fossil fuels and renewable energy is. Fossil fuels are hydrocarbons, primarily coal, oil, or natural gas formed from the remains of dead plants and animals. These organic plants undergo geological processes such as heat and pressure over millions of years, transforming into carbon-rich compounds. There are three major components of fossil fuels like coal, oil, that is petroleum, and natural gas. Now, let's see what is renewable energy is. Renewable energy refers to energy derived from naturally occurring substance and replenishable sources that are not depleted when used. Unlike all these fossil fuels, there are some finite and contribute to the environmental issues, renewable energy sources, and sustainable energy generally have a lower environmental impacts. It causes environmental concerns, climate change mitigation, energy security, public health, technological advancements, long-term economic viability, global trends and agreements, energy access, and also market signals. Shifting energy subsidies from fossil fuels to renewable energy involves redirecting financial support and incentives that are traditionally given to the fossil fuel industry toward the development and promotion of renewable energy resources. This transition is driven by the recognition of the environmental, economic, and also social benefits of renewable energy and the need to address the climate change. There are several ways to start the renewable energy transition. Among them, they are make renewable energy technology a global public goods, improve global access to components and raw materials, level the playing field for renewable energy technologies. There are certain limitations and problems which are faced is while shifting energy subsidies from fossil fuels to renewable energy is a positive step towards a more sustainable energy future. The transition is essential to consider these factors for effective policy implementation, such as economic impacts, intermittency and reliability, policy and political challenges, resistance from fossil fuel industry, and also resource availability. The community and the government actions undertaken are awareness and education, financial incentives and subsidies, policy consistency and predictability, infrastructure investments, and also international cooperation. Addressing all these challenges requires a holistic approach involving collaboration, governments, communities, business, and international partners. Overcoming obstacles for a crucial, successful, and sustainable transition to renewable energy resources. Renewable energy will be powering a safer future. The science is clear that to avoid the worst impacts of climate change, emissions need to be reduced by almost half by 2030 and reach net zero by 2050. To achieve all these we need to end our reliance on fossil fuels and invest in alternative sources of energy that is clean, accessible, affordable, sustainable, and also reliable. Now let's look into, is renewable energy more reliable than fossil fuels? When thinking about the bigger picture of the planet's future, there is only a finite amount of coal and where there is essential unlimited amount of renewable resources that can sustain us for generations to come. And the report says that the International Monetary Fund, IMF, states that 5.9 trillion was spent on subsidizing the fossil fuel industry in 2020 alone, including through explicit subsidies, tax breaks, and health and environmental challenges that were not priced into the cost of fossil fuels. The report and survey says that at least 4 trillion a year needs to be invested in renewable energy until 2030, that is, including investments in technology and also infrastructure to allow us to reach net zero emissions by 2050. By understanding all these details about the shift of energy subsidies from fossil fuels to renewable energy is imperative for addressing climatic change and fostering a sustainable future. While challenges like economic impacts and technological hurdles exist, the transition presents opportunities for job creation, economic growth, and a cleaner environment. Clear policies, technological innovations, and global collaborations are key to ensuring a successful and equitable shift towards renewable energy, paving the way for resilient and environmentally conscious energy landscape. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, dear. That was a wonderful presentation, quite comprehensive of the advantages and merits and demerits of the renewable energy as powering the future. On that note, may I request Dr. Zakira to do the briefing, to do the summary. Thank you.
Summarizing the Gayatri's presentation,
Lakshmi,
ma'am.
thank you.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Shall I, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. Please proceed. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Gayatri Shankar. We have given a presentation about shift energy subsidies from fossil fuels to renewable energy. A very nice presentation, and which is a present need to our global needs. So you have compared about the fossil fuel energy and renewable energy. What are the causes and the effects which are being given by both of them, and how we are shifting from fossil fuels to renewable energy, and how to start to go towards renewable energy, and what are the limitations, challenges, obstacles you have explained in a very good manner, and what are the drawbacks while we are going for while we are using the fossil fuels, like environmental concern, climate change, and energy security, and public health aspect, and also technological advancements, what are the long-term economic viability, and energy access and market signals have been explained by you. Why we are shifting from fossil fuels to renewable energy has been explained by you, and how to start with renewable energy transition by thereby by transiting towards the renewable energy. What will be the output? That is, we will be making a global public good things, and we will be reducing the carbon emission. Those things you have explained in a very good manner. And what are the limitations? Also, you have given in a good way. And the community and the government action, what are to be taken? That is awareness and education about the renewable energy resources, and what are the financial, and it has been given by the government, and you also explained those things to us. And infrastructure investment, the initial investment in the renewable energy is more, whereas if you go for a long time process, it will be a very benefitable, and you have explained that's also in a very good way. And international cooperation about the renewable energy incorporation has been explained by you. And some of the reports also you have explained about the International Monetary Fund, which says about 2020, in 2020 itself, how the industries are reduced their cost of fossil fuels while they are implementing the renewable energy have been explained by you. A very good presentation, Ma. Thank you for giving the wonderful information to us. Thank you, Ma.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Dr. Lakshmi, and thank you, Ms. Gayatri. That was a wonderful presentation indeed. It is always a pleasure having you here on this platform, and we want you to participate in every session. Thank you so much. On that note, moving further, we would like to invite Dr. Vishnu Pada Bose. Dr. Vishnu, hope you're ready. Dr. Vishnu will be speaking on behalf of GSFN in the place of Mr. Alexia Sandalas on the topic triple investments in renewables. May I request Ms. Armina to do the needful. Thank you. Dr. Vishnu?
Yes, I am here. The topic will be triple investments. I think it's not ready, yes?
It's not ready?
No. We can invite...
No, I could see him, the other picture, other window has opened for him. Dr. Vishnu? Yes, he is ready.
Good.
So, Ms. Armina, can we please invite Dr. Vishnu?
Yes, I am delighted to invite Dr. Vishnu Bose, PhD, Indian Institute of Technology, Kharagpur, India, partner representative GSFN, and today he will replace Alexis Sandras. He will talk about triple investments in renewables. Welcome, Dr. Vishnu.
May I request Dr. Edibisi to summarize Dr. Vishnu's presentation? Dr. Edibisi?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. So thank you, Doctor. Thank you, Dr. Said. Thank you so much. And Dr. Vishnu, you can go ahead with your presentation. Thank you so much. Dr. Vishnu?
Okay. It has network issue.
Okay.
Maybe my dear Temiadio Aduloju want to say a few words.
Okay. Yes.
Mr. Aduloju, are you there?
Yes, thank you very much. I am sorry, I cannot enable my video because I was not able to do the backdrop to apply it. Yes.
You
So
can
okay, thank you. So I just want to speak on these shifting energies from fossil fuel to renewable energies. Although I was supposed to sort of like recap what Mulamba said, and I read some things about this, and I would want us to talk on it. I'm from Nigeria, a developing country. Yeah, my government is doing a lot to help us in moving from fossil fuel to renewable energy. However, to an extent, for the masses, the populace, this has not been something that is working for us. It is sort of costly. It is sort of very costly for us. It is not affordable. And one of the goals of SDG, the seventh goal, is for us to have an affordable, reliable, and sustainable modern energy. So, what are we doing in addressing this? Some of these nations, like Nigeria, the country is actually rich, notwithstanding, achieving renewable energy seems not to be attainable. What could be done concerning this? Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for
Yes,
that mention.
I am
Well,
ready.
yes,
Am I
thank
audible
you.
to
Got
you?
it. And coincidentally,
Am,
actually, we have Dr. Vishnu here who is going to address on the topic triple investment
yes,
in
yes.
renewables. Triple investments in renewable. I'm sure this is going to
Uh,
be a solution giving topic, solution giving presentation for the question which has been raised by Ms. Adimiso. Thank you so much. Please go ahead, Dr. Vishnu. You can start sharing your screen. Thank you. I'm
yes.
sorry for that.
My presentation is visible to all of you?
It is visible. It is not in the presentation mode. I mean, you need to on the slideshow so that it comes to the presentation mode.
And
Now
now it
it
is
is.
visible to all of you?
Yes,
Yes,
sir. Okay, sir. It is visible now.
please go ahead. Thank you.
Yes, yes. Very good evening to all of you. This is my topic. I'm Dr. Vishnu Bodhos. Very good evening to all of you. A global ecological footprint. It is actually a major aspect in related to climate change, global warming, sustainable development, resource crisis, energy optimization, everything. So, as per the research evidence, the Earth was formed about 4.5 billion years ago, and human community have existed for about 315,000 years, 315 years ago. According to the study by WWF, more than one third of Earth natural resources have been destroyed by human in just 30 years. It is one data available in the research paper. In 2022, the global ecological footprint was 2.7 global hectares per person, while the world biocapacity was 1.5 global hectares per person. That means already it has uh, uh, exceeded the limit. 1.5 global hectares per person is the limit, but human community has crossed as 2.7 global hectares per person. This is a very dangerous signal. This means that humanity uses 75% more than what the planet ecosystem can regenerate. So that's why closer they are now. So by 2030, we will need two planets if human community is consuming in this way. By 2030, we will need two planets to provide the resources for our consumption and absorb our waste. We only have one Earth now. Carrying capacity of the biosphere has overshooted by huge margin. This is the consequences due to the unsustainable production and consumptions. This is the one data from the research papers that how the material consumption is going on in the by the human communities, and it is maybe somewhere it's unsustainable production and consumption process, and scientists and researchers are already striving to optimize the resource efficiency in view of this perspective. So it is under process and many initiative has been taken by the different countries like CDM technologies, circular economy, uh, circular waste recycling process, etc. This is also from the research papers that presently in 2011 material consumption 79 gigatons, but scientists has calculated that with their research methodology that 167 gigaton material would be required to 2060 if human community has not taken the initiative to optimize the resource and resource utilization, and also technology needs to optimize the resource efficiency. Uh, Also, innovative design solution is required to mitigate this type of situations or fulfill the demand of the resources. So here different things is there at economic growth. Due to the economic growth, plus 283 gigaton material demand may be there. Then different innovative solution is there. Finally, it will be a 167 gigatons. That also double from the present level. So sustainable way towards resource optimization and enhance the efficiency is the only way. However, in the throughout the globe, uh, initiative has been taken by the nations, different countries, that circular economy concept, green building technology, clean development mechanism under Kyoto protocols, use of bioresources, waste recycling, etc. So out of this, clean development mechanism and circular economy is a very effective technology and very relevant in these situations, and it is underway. First world country already is developed many things to follow this to process circular economy concept and CDM technologies, green building also. But developing country is now underway to take up the situations. It is one data that how human community has consumed the resources and generating waste. That is also a dangerous thing on the earth. So the ecological footprint exceeded the limit. To the this situation, the consequence. So circular economy minimize the waste. In fact, just can be possible circular economy, but circular economy very critical aspect for the many nations like underdeveloped countries, third world countries or developed countries. But first world country already taking take up these situations, and they are already uh, doing the things. This is a projected agent. This is the ecological food. It has cost 1.5, and 2050 is net zero emission deadline. It we expect that due to the different research, innovative solutions, ideas, protocols, out of this circular economy, CDM, green technology, biomaterial, bioresources, green resources, all these things can be minimize the resource utilization and optimize the things, and finally probably we can reach the net zero emissions in 2000. It is the actual data available in the research paper. I have extracted the research paper. Am I audible to all of you?
Yes, you are audible.
Hello. Yes. Okay.
You are audible. Yes.
Top largest economics. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Top 10 largest economics in the world. This is the actual research data. The 2020. One thing is a very remarkable that is highest greenhouse production is the highest, and their happiness is the highest. That means they are taking they are consuming more natural resources than underdeveloped country or developing countries. That is the reflecting over here. Say India, it is a developing countries. Their ecological footprint only 1.16, not cross that. And their happiness is also low, 4.03. At the same time, their greenhouse gas per capita 2.7 and very low rather than comparative to USA, China, Japan, Germany, etc. That all country like USA, China, Japan, consuming natural resources to keep index as it is, and their ecological boundary that reflecting over here. Carbon footprint for a person in United States is on one of the highest rate in the world. Generally, the average carbon footprint is closer to 4 to have the best chance of avoiding Celsius rise in global temperature. The average global carbon per year need to be dropped under 2 ton zero. This is the very important carbon footprint. Carbon footprint now is a 16 ton USA and Japan like that. So China rest of it 16 tons at per limit 2 near about 2. But to save this earth or to reach the net zero emission 50 carbon footprint in the tons can success the mission. Lowering individual footprint from 16 ton to 2 ton does not happen overnight. By making small change or our actions like eating less meat, taking fewer flights, drying our clothes, we start making big difference. So every small things also imparting the to help us to reach the net zero emissions by 2050. So every element is connected on this mission. So here is the greenhouse gas per capita footprint happiness index, and greenhouse gas per capita carbon the related things, but some footprint something lower than the value of greenhouse gas per capita, which is not showing here. So excess utilization of resource and unsustainable product consumption, the carrying capacity has been lost by the natural system. Natural system has their regenerative capacity of the resources. So we have to optimize resource utilization and have the resource efficiency through different measures like innovative design solution, technology development, technology option, circular economy concept, CDM technology. All those can help to be the in limit so that we cross so that we can regenerate this continuation. So recycle also, but recycle can reduce waste and replenish the resources by reduce burden of the nature and increase sustainability. And another remarkable things from the research paper that global human-made mass has exceeded all living biomass, a landmark reached in 2020. So unsustainable production and consumption, this is the consequences published in a research paper. It is a very dangerous situation that in the right side is that high rating in the 3 point, medium rating 2 points. So maximum is the high rating 3 point. That means it's a dangerous situation. Two parties there, one human systems, one ecosystem. So human system one is a red color, ecosystem is a gray color. It has been observed that humans also three parties many cases. That means a very high dangerous situation over here. Circular economy is a big things to zero waste mission. Already it's under process, but globally only 9% circular economy is taking care. 91% is a unfolding condition. So globally, very nations and leaders and researchers have taken initiative to mobilize this process everywhere throughout the globe. That process can help reach net zero waste mission. So Saturn depends the depletion of natural resources. This is common things in the everywhere that processing of renewable resources release harmful gases into the atmosphere, creating a greenhouse effect, global warming. Resources also produce energy, meaning less pollution, gas emission, which contributes to change. Shifting towards renewable is a sustainable approach. Resource optimization and managing natural resources. This is a present concept, and it is a proven concept already iterated in the many countries that blue and green economy under the circular economy, then bioeconomy, then biodiversity economy is a safe condition. And another side, development mechanism. Development is not directly connected to the resources, but indirectly can help to resource optimize, recycle resources, and reduce the dependency of the fossil fuel, reduce the greenhouse gases, and reduce the effect of the climate change. So both are related things, and it is a major aspect at the present time. To reduce dependency on fossil fuel, replenish the depletion of natural resources, and improve sustainability. So this is the things through which we can able to reach the zero emission. It's required mainly in the third country or developing countries. But first, am I audible to all of you?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Yes, you are. Please continue, please.
Yes, actually.
I think Doctor has finished his presentation.
Dr. Vishnu?
Okay, he has a network.
Yes, madam.
Would you like to continue or we
Yes.
can do the summary?
No. Am I audible to all of you?
Yes.
So how much portion I have shown in the this presentation?
Circular economy, envision the 3 R's. Because you're a little ahead of time. That's why Dr. Adibisi wanted to remind you, saying that your time limit is. Please continue.
Yes, I have in my present. Yes. So circular economy is one of the major aspects by which resource optimization, enhance the efficiency of the resources can be possible. The circular process can replenish the depletion of natural resources. This is the common thing that renewable and non-renewable things. So renewable resources also produce clean energy, meaning less pollution and greenhouse gas emissions, and which contribute to the climate change. So shifting towards renewable is a sustainable approach. So this is the major initiatives taken by different countries. One is development mechanism, another is circular economy concept. But circular economy concept enhance the resource efficiency, reduce the resource utilization. I think is very relevant things. Blue and green economy also is the modern concept that also enhance the resource efficiency, resource utilization, etc. So dependency on fossil fuel replenish the depletion of natural resources and improve sustainability. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Vishnu.
Yes, thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for that insightful presentation where you covered about the revenues and financial sustainability and the literacy part of it, where the globally people should be educated on this financial requirements and the graph and to make them for a sustainable future. On that note, may I present before you Dr. Adibisi to do the summary, and he would also summarize the rest of the presentations as well. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much. I think we have a doctor in another fully packed information today again. And let me just say that renewable energy and improved global access to components and raw materials from the concept of how to take charge or how to actually address the issue on the solution. There is need to actually understand most of these very components and the raw materials very essentially. As the doctor has said, he has mentioned global ecological footprint, very, very important. And he mentioned very strategically that, yes, the Earth has started to exist for the past 4.5 billion years ago, and the human just colonized some aspect of this very Earth in 315,000 years ago, and they have destroyed activities of human unconsciously have destroyed 1/3 of the Earth's natural resources, and this just take effect within 30 years. That is very critical, and that is a very striking component and understanding that everybody should understand. Then in 2022, he mentioned that yes, the global economic footprint has hit 2.7 global hectares that each person is going to occupy, and this is also very, very critical component and the raw materials that every solution-minded person should take note. And he mentioned global material use. He also mentioned the critical solution or the policy or the framework that everybody is trying to key into now, which is the circular economy and some other components of it, like a green building technology, clean developmental mechanism, and also use of bioresources and also waste recycling. And this is where the biotechnology is actually coming into play, where a lot of artificial productions and industrial productions are going to be natural based, in the sense that not only that we focus on the machine to actually do a lot of work, but we focus on what the natural resources can also do to solve our problem. Like, for example, when we are using the machine to turn waste into something that is very useful. Also, biological microorganism can also serve as a very better solution to combat all these things. And he also mentioned the case of waste generation, very, very critical, very, very critical. Waste generation is actually a huge problem to humanity, and he mentioned that we have hit the prospects or the proposal is looking at 3.4 billion tons by 2060, and this very global trend is actually needed to be looked into critically. And can we imagine the world without trash? And that is the question that I draw from his presentation. And he actually gave the solution to that very question, that circular economy is actually focusing on that, the reuse, the recycle, the regeneration, and also some other aspect of it. And in the closing of his presentation, I actually draw some conclusion there that to actually prevent the heat up of the atmosphere or the biosphere or the earth, we need to actually take action on our lifestyle. We need to improve on our lifestyle to make it sustainable, what we eat, how we eat, and how we manage our waste. And also in other areas, aspects of our industrial area, our academic area, our business area, and all aspects of our life, we need to actually make it sustainable for us to be safer and to actually live a safe planet. So that is the summary. Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor. That was thanks for that very comprehensive summary of yours. Well, we have been now joined in by Mr. Joaquin Carlo Castro. Mr. Carlo Castro. Mr. Carlo Joaquin.
Hello.
Yeah. Good evening and welcome. So, yes, you have. Would you like to present now?
Yes. I believe my schedule is later on, but I can present right now.
Yeah, you can. So, Ms. Ermina, can you just welcome Mr. Joaquin Carlo Castro to do the presentation? Thank you so much. Dr. Edibizi will do the summary for Mr. Carlo. Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right.
Did you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, I am audible. Dr. Kevin is here.
It's Mr. Carlo Castro who's presenting on renewable energy powering a safer future. The very last
Carlo Castro, yes, we have Mr. Janquin Carlo Castro. He is Global Change Maker, Fellow Connecting Dreams Foundation, and he will have the topic renewable energy powering a safer future. Welcome, Janquin. You can open your microphone.
Hello, good evening, everyone. Can I share my screen?
Yes, you can.
Okay. Wait, let me share my screen. Okay, can you see my screen already?
Yes, we are able to see that.
Okay, good evening, everyone. I'm Joaquin Carlo Castro. I come from the Philippines. I have an NGO here in the Philippines where we focus on various matters, particularly on environment. And apart from it, is also onto renewable energy, where we want to really push for this in the Philippines, as most of our energy sector rely on traditional and this tend to be harmful in terms of our environment. Now, for the table of contents, we would like to focus on our introduction, renewable energy, and again, the need for this renewable energy that really allows us to sustain further efforts for our environment, the hurdles towards this, and the power of cooperation, where again, we'll synthesize this with the COP28 and the commitments of various countries. And apart from it is to enable this transition toward renewable energy. So what is this? This mainly falls onto deriving natural resources that again is a key to safer, cleaner, and sustainable world. And that this is crucial for each and every country, because as we observe on various statistics, particularly on our air quality index, and apart from it is again onto the dangers on oil that we see on oil spills in various areas or countries. That again, we really want to involve ourselves in diverse sources of renewable energy, where this includes hydroelectric power, geothermal energy, and apart from it is also biomass. And further on this is wind power and solar power. Now, why did I mention this? This is simply for us to have further involvement on what are the different sources toward this, and how can we really enable ourselves to utilize on the various sources of renewable energy that can be applicable in each and every country. Now, onto this matter, I really want to state on this need, where again, we have various statistics confirming this, that in 2020, we have renewable energy use increasing by 3%, where again, we see this as significant, as again, this growth leads to renewables accounting for 29% of global electricity generation, where having this, we really see onto the expansion of electricity generation. And apart from it is the economic benefits, where we see this contributing to the local sectors and the economies of each and every country. That we see statistics confirming that again, this creates tens and millions of jobs in our countries. And this is quite significant in the Philippines, where we see this need again of renewable energy. Now, other than this, as mentioned earlier, onto the need of renewable energy, particularly on the environmental benefits, where we see that there are different causes or different impacts uh, on our environment, where particularly onto CO2 emissions. And this again improves the overall public health of our countries. And apart from it is again reducing the impacts of these gases. And other than this, I want to mention that to overcome such hurdles, number one is we need to have this variability in terms of our energy production, from particularly onto utilizing sources such as wind and also solar. And apart from it is to have efficient energy storage systems for surplus energy and the infrastructure needed. Now, how can we do such? This is again confirming that on the need of FDIs, foreign direct investments, which again can be one of the things that we can really observe. But again, we focus here onto COP28, which later on I'll be able to showcase a few of the confirmations and a few of the agreements made in the said conference. Now, I want to mention here onto the power of cooperation, where to facilitate this global energy transition, we need international cooperation. Now, this we see onto the need of again global superpowers, particularly the United States, leading this one. And apart from it is other states, particularly in the ASEAN regional organizations, particularly the ASEAN, where again we need to confirm their cooperation and their understanding toward the need of renewable energy. And that again, we focus on to the long-term climate sustainability, where we see it having this return of investment in the renewable energy sector. And this, I want to mention that to enable this transition, one thing that we need to focus on is collaborating with a global Green Deal. And apart from it is again to focus on regional cooperations, regional efforts onto utilizing renewable energy. And that I mentioned here onto COP28, where again, there was this pledge towards to phase down fossil fuels, which I mentioned earlier that this has significant or relevant negative effects in terms of our energy sector. And that we see there 200 countries agreed to reducing fossil fuel consumption. And other than this, as we see onto the energy efficiency and also nuclear power, where again 20 nations signed on a declaration to triple nuclear power capacity by 2050. And apart from it is again to triple the renewable energy capacity by 2030, where to achieve 10,000 gigawatts of installed renewable energy globally. Now, informing onto these matters, we really see here that there is a significant understanding towards the nation onto having renewable energy. But we must maintain cooperation with various individuals, civil society organizations, the partnership with different CSOs, NGOs, and again onto different countries to maintain this understanding and onto long-term sustainability of these efforts and to hold them accountable if ever these different agreements are not being followed. And that I want to end my presentation by stating that we must embrace the change. And for us to be able to do this, we require cooperation. And this, I want to state onto the sources and my deepest appreciation to each and everyone onto listening to this talk. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Carlo. That was a very comprehensive presentation indeed. May I request Dr. Adebisi to kindly do the summary for Mr. Carlo? Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you. That's very strategic presentation, like I would like to say, because it hit the strategic point of discussing the energy efficiency and also energy, renewable energy for the future. And he did mention that, yes, everybody has discussed about the definition, the types and this. And he actually discussed the orders of what is likely to be associated with the renewable energy, which is he mentioned specifically intermittency and also storage. Very, 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 very critical. Very, very critical, because generation may not at the end of the day be the problem, but the storage and the transmission can also add strategic hurdles to how this very efficiency is going to be achieved. And he refers us to the COP28 and what are the strategic deliberations and also the takeaway from those discussions. And he mentioned about the how will the world enable the energy, renewable energy efficiency delivery, transmission, and all the likes of it. And he did mention that the phase down is a critical step, and also tripling the capacity is a critical step, because most of these very cells and most of these very technology that are actually producing renewable energy, they need to be optimized to actually give the higher capacity of generation, of transmission, and of use efficiency. So that is very, very strategic. And also he did mention the I think he did mention at the end of the presentation that the efficiency can only be holistically addressed when at regional level, not at the international level. The regional level that are having specific climatic, specific issues that connect them, and how they can partner to actually solve those issues in a collaborative way, can go a long way to address the issue of delivering not only that it is going to be renewable, but also the efficiency aspect of it. Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor. Thanks for that wonderful summary. And we have been joined by one more speaker for today, Ms. Palak, who is ready to present. May I request Ms. Armina to kindly welcome Ms. Palak to do her presentation. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Hi, everyone. It's a pleasure. Sorry, ma'am, I think you're on mute.
Yes, it's my pleasure to present you. Ms. Palak Khanna is Global Changemaker Fellow, Connecting Dreams Foundation, and she will talk about renewable energy powering a safer future. Welcome, dear Palak.
Thank you so much. Hi, everyone. Greetings, wherever you are. I am Palak. I'm speaking here as a youth representative from New Delhi, India. Currently, I'm a Global Changemaker Fellow at Connecting Dreams Foundation. I'm also a social entrepreneur. So I do understand the importance of renewable energy in the future as well as in the present that we are living in today. Have an organization called Break the Ice, where we work on breaking the ice about everything which is important but ignored. So as a representative of the youth, I wanted to highlight through my presentation how important is renewable energy at the first place. Why is it, its impact is essential. In the world that we live in today, the shift towards renewable energy is not just positive, but it's a necessity. And the more people understand this urgency, which cannot be overstated, the better the world will become. My discourse is understanding and delving into the understanding of how important renewable energy is and its role in empowering the future, the advantages it offers, and the pivotal role that young people play in showcasing its impact and leading this change towards a more sustainable and an equitable world, not just an equal world, but an equitable one. Again, I would want to highlight that bringing renewable energy into our daily spaces, it's not an overnight thing. I don't believe it is an overnight process. It's a very, very gradual process, but it is important to know that, as the title of our conversation today says, renewable energy towards a safer future. More stakeholders, as and when more stakeholders get involved in the process, we'll be able to move towards a safer and a more sustainable future. We need to realize that the different actions that we take as a society, as a community, by involving different stakeholders, can bring a lot of change. And of course, all of us have faced the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. We can see the growing impact of global warming, of climate change, and of depleting resources. And that needs to be an eye-opener for all of us. Now, before I dive into the implementation of renewable energy and present my recommendations and suggestions as a young person, I also wanted to highlight more about the sources of renewable energy. Number one is the power of the sun. All of us are aware of solar energy. A lot of countries are also making the most out of it. And it is important to know how important it is in the daily processes of our life. After doing a research, I realized and I understood through studies that in 1 hour, the sun can actually provide enough energy to meet the world's energy demands of an entire year. Of course, this is a research from 2016, 2017, and the current scenario may differ. But if we understand this better, it is proven that solar energy and other renewable energy sources can definitely help us as a world, and it can service the world's energy demands. It is time to tap into this cosmic powerhouse and harness its potential for a cleaner and a brighter future. Of course, I do also understand, I think my previous speaker also mentioned this, the ROI as well as the cost is a massive issue when we talk about renewable sources of energy. Of course, there's a cost which goes into the infrastructure, which is very high for developing countries in specific, but it is also important to know how can we maximize this ROI. So my first recommendation would be understanding, number one, how can we maximize this the return on this investment on renewable energy sources and its infrastructure as a globe, making it a global public good so that maximum number of people can benefit from it, as well as we can reduce the cost that is going inside the infrastructure. The second thing would be, of course, making the most out of the power of the wind and the ocean. Of course, we are aware of wind energy, which helps us a lot in the wind turbines. And if we utilize it in the right manner, we can build smart cities. We can help in creating cities where we are powered by wind energy. Our schools, homes, cities can be powered by it in a great sense. When we talk about ocean energy, with the power of tides and waves, we can generate electricity, which is not just clean, but also consistent. So after doing this research, I do realize that there are a lot of potentials in maximizing the use of renewable energy. And one thing that we lack in, of course, conversations like these and events like these help the young people to come on board, but a lot more needs to happen. So my second recommendation would be bringing more and more young people to the decision-making table, not just giving them a seat at the table, but a say at the table. I think that's very important. Not just bringing them to decide, but also being a part of conversations and bringing forward their motives, their ideas, their voice. And when that happens, I think because young people, they bring innovation to the table, they bring the current mindset to the table. When we combine that with the experience and analytical skills of experienced professionals, that's when we are able to grow as a world and as a society in general. So I think one of the most important things in this entire session would also be bringing more young people to the decision-making table, ensuring that if they are into startups, if they are young entrepreneurs, creating ecosystems which support renewable energy startups. If they want to be involved in the decision-making process, enabling them an ecosystem where they can get involved, and ensuring they also get mentorship from the right professionals, those who have more experience in terms of age, experience, and everything. They also combine with them to create solutions where we can move towards a safer future. My final thing would also be just highlighting how renewable energy is also beneficial in the overall growth of the economy. Everybody knows about green collar jobs, jobs which are created through experiences and through industries which support sustainability. When we talk about renewable energy, when we embrace renewable energy, it's not just about saving the planet, it's also about creating millions of jobs, enabling employment, also ultimately allowing economic growth. So when we talk about that and we understand the benefits of renewable energy, that is when we can implement it in the future. So yes, that would be pretty much it from my end. My recommendations are as follows. Number one, creating awareness about renewable energy. I think a lot is happening in this space, but a lot more can happen. Number two, bringing more and more young people to the decision-making table so that innovative ideas can be brought forward. Number three, creating an ecosystem where startups, renewable energy products, and all the services around it can be supported. And number four, just understanding how important it is to create a better, more sustainable, greener, and safer world. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Palak. That was a brilliant indeed. It was a quintessence of the whole forum, whole platform, I would say. Like, you have summarized it so well, and that was indeed mind-blowing as such. And we would like to have you for all of our presentations, if you can just come in. And definitely, as a rationale of COP 2030 Youth Ministry goes, the role of Youth Ministry Convoy is that to amplify the influence of the organizations like yours, which are focused on, led by the young people like you within the COP20 process. And this entails a collaborating with the local and the global stakeholders, as we have been, I think our digital diet says so. And definitely we have got eminent personalities who have joined us on this record to provide the youth capacity building opportunities and establish mechanism for funding the innovative youth-led initiatives in the field. On that note, may I take this opportunity to present before you Professor Dr. Jose Luis Estes. He is the Global Chair of SDG4, who is postdoctoral researcher in innovation for sustainable organizations. And also he is the researcher at ABES think tank and ASC Academy of Educators in Brazil, a former dean in the business colleges of HAS executive director in Brazil, a co-steering committee member at SRIVIDHYA, Sustainable Researcher Network UK Brazil, and CEO and founder of Exponentialist Learning and Education for Change-Making Platform, and a founder of 4 Mentors and Education Initiatives, and the list goes endless. On that note, may I present before you Dr. Jose Estes to summarize all our presentations for today. Thank you so much. Following which, Ms. Ermina will do the vote of thanks. Thank you. Doctor, it's a pleasure having you here, Professor. Thank you so much for joining our panel. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. SRIVIDHYA. Hope you are listening to me very well. I am just arriving a few hours ago in my base here in the state of Rio de Janeiro, in the city of Rio de Janeiro, where we are again experiencing these warming dome elevating and escalating the temperatures over 10 or 12 degrees from the regular temperatures that we have. Unfortunately, we here in Brazil, as a continental country, have to deal with 6 different cradles, nature cradles, because we have, as a continental country, 6 different biomes. So we are a champion of diversity, in our responsibility with the climate change impacts is really great at this time. We are experiencing dry periods in the Amazon region, for example, and we are experiencing at the same time huge rainfalls in the southeast of Brazil and in some states of the southeast region too, like especially in São Paulo, in the state of São Paulo, and in the state of Minas Gerais at this time. But here in Brazil, we are in the morning with over 10, almost 10 degrees in our temperature. So it's the climate change really arrived so strong, and now we have a very little time to deal with this. I would like to thank you all for all your deep, profound inputs for the discussion today. It was really a pleasure to listen all of you, and all, of course, this younger and brave generation that will succeed us in with the courage, we hope, to face all these challenges that we unfortunately were not able to deal just like we wanted to. But there is always a time. But we are running out of time, of course, because we just came from the thoughts that we have at the bottom end of the year 2023 with the COP28 in Dubai. And we have found out from very, respectable researchers from around the globe that we have already, unfortunately, passed 5 different points of no returns in some systems that we have in the globe. So there is, from these discussions today, if I have to summarize all these thoughts, reflections, all these, very reliable and unassorted information, myriad, that we have one imperative shift. We have really to navigate the ongoing impacts of non-renewable energy towards a sustainable future. Hope our dear and beloved coordinator leader at Global Sustainable Future Network, Professor Dr. Renuka Thakur, is able to listen to us at this time, because she is also experiencing, just like you, Dr. SRIVIDHYA, a very, intense moment of trying to bring these voices and this mind gathering together in events like this that we have in the COP years. So, well, the first thing is that I understood, and that I can share with you, that the global energy landscape is undergoing profound changes with really persistent impacts of non-renewable energy sources. We have all this climate change, let's say, that is fueled by carbon emissions from burning fossil fuels. And this has become an urgent global crisis. We are experiencing, like I just said to you in my introduction here in Brazil, from Brazil, and of course I can speak a bit more Brazil because I do live in Brazil. I'm a Brazilian citizen. I am in Brazil right now, but of course you will be able to speak more about these impacts of the climate change in your countries and how this is affecting your behavior and your societies. This is something that we have to really take a closer look, because we have to merge ourselves in a global voice, in a joint speech, in order to, avoid these hardest climate change impacts globally. This is something that I would like to share, that of course we have non-renewable energy derived from fossil fuels as coal, oil, natural gas, as a cornerstone, let's say, of global energy production for decades. And this reliance, of course, has brought severe consequences. Greenhouse gas emissions, primarily carbon dioxide, have intensified the greenhouse effect, and this is all leading us to rising temperatures, extreme weather events, and then, of course, disruptions in our ecosystems worldwide. Just like I said, we have 6 different biomes here. We are, of course, around the globe, more known by the Amazon region, but aside Amazon, we have 5 different biomes here in Brazil, with this large continental dimension that are also in crisis too. From the presentations that we have today in this morning, I believe that I can speak for all of you too, that in the sense that these effects of climate change are unmistakable. They are impacting communities, they are impacting our economies, and they are, of course, impacting our ecosystems globally, from more frequent and intense heat waves, like I used to say, to the rising of the sea levels that are threatening, for example, the coastal areas. We have to deal with very huge and serious consequences. So these changes here in Brazil, for instance, in the precipitation patterns, are causing droughts and floods, and of course, output of these is they are affecting agriculture, they are affecting water resources, they are causing biodiversity loss, and of course, the degradation of our biomes and ecosystems. So we really need a urgent transformation. So we have to transition, and this is the main output of the discussions and the reflections and the inputs that we have in this morning. We have to transition to renewable energy sources urgently. This transition to renewable energy sources is not only an environmental imperative, but it's also an economic and social need. Renewable energy offers for us all, no matter if you were talking about what's going on in Africa, what's going on in Asia, what's going on in Europe, what's going on here in Brazil, in South America, in Oceania. It's a sustainable alternative that mitigates climate change impacts and, of course, will foster energy security. We are experiencing here in Brazil a shift already in our energy matrix, trying to grab as much as possible all this richness that we have in the country in order to foster this renewable energy into our matrix. But of course, we have to illustrate always the impacts in our countries. We have these extreme weather events in almost all developed nations. In developed countries, we are really suffering with extreme weather events that are increasing the frequency of hurricanes, typhoons, like in Asia, droughts, like in the southern and the southeast part of Brazil right now. And of course, the most affected are those members of vulnerable and poor populations. We have problems of rising sea levels in the coastal cities, including some major cities like I can remember Miami in US and Mumbai in India, facing inundations due to rising of the sea levels. Some months ago, in summer, the temperature in the Mexican Gulf was over 40 Celsius degree in the water. So how can you afford to be in a beach where the temperature of the water is over 40 degrees Celsius? We have all these agricultural disruptions that are happening worldwide. And so what I realize is that we have to change mindsets, and we have to foster ourselves as researchers, as leaders, think tankers to cope with this renewable energy subject. So we have to address these challenges as a fundamental shift in mindset with governments, with businesses, with individuals, in order to make them to prioritize renewable energy investments, to embrace innovation, to embrace sustainable practices, because there is no way out, there is no second planet to be, and we have to deal with the problems of our mother earth right now in order to mitigate this impact. So I believe that we have here an extraordinary opportunity to discuss further about this energy subject, and I really hope that in the coming future we will have everything that we need as a reliable tool set that we can spread out as something that can be grabbed by every individual around the globe, no matter if this individual is in India, in Pakistan, in South Africa, in France, in Germany, here in Brazil, everywhere, to deal with this as a sound and unique voice. So thank you very much. Congratulations for all the speakers that we have today. They have added a lot to our reflections, to our inner thoughts. And I heart believe that we together can make this change movement and can make this shift that is necessary to the world right now. Thank you very much again for your invitation, Dr. SRIVIDHYA.
Thank you, Doctor. That was quite insightful and it was brilliant. And so we would like to have you for all our forthcoming weeks. Thank you, Doctor. Thank you so much. Thanks for your prestigious presence amidst this dais today. And thank you, Dr. Shahid. It is always a pleasure having you as one of our mentors as a panel of experts. Thank you so much. Over to Madam Ermina to deliver the vote of thanks on behalf of everyone who is assembled here and also our team members. Thank you so much, Ms. Ermina. Please go ahead.
Thank you, my dear. Was a really pleasure to hear Dr. Jose Esteves. I want now to say a few words. Thank you for all, because you follow us. Thank you to all speakers, and I want to all panelists. I have emotion now. I will share all the name of the panelists today. Congratulations, dear SRIVIDHYA. Congratulations, Dr. Renukata Kore, for this initiative. Congratulations to all panel of experts, Dr. Virginia Rivera, Dr. Lakshmi, Dr. Zaira, Dr. Temi Aduloju, Professor General Eboria Charles, and Dr. Adebisi. I will present now again all the speakers. Alusan Abdullahi, Titus George, topic make renewable energy technology a global public good. Dr. Hussein Abdelafat Kasem and Dr. Kelvin Makaria Kuria, improve global access to components and raw materials as a topic. Vishnar Swami, Tejwazi Samantha, with the topic level the playing field for renewable energy technology. Mulamba Yoa Perseverance and Gayatri Shankar with the topic shift energy subsides from fossil fuels to renewable energy. Alexis Sandras, Juadi Masudim Fiole, triple investment in renewables. Dianshvar Premnad, Palakana, renewable energy powering a safer future. And not at the end, but not the least, Giancarlo Castro with a great presentation, renewable energy powering a safe future. Thank you for your time. Thank you to all the people from the chat live, because you was with us today. And again, congratulations to everyone who was involved in this project. It has such an honor to be part of this wonderful meeting. On behalf of the partners, organizers, I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to our esteemed panelists and speakers. Again, a wide round of applause and thanks to SRIVIDHYA and Dr. Renuka for this outstanding project and all the participants who made the event a memorable one. Finally, I would like to thank all of you present here, all of you present in chat live again, for making the time to be with us today and helping us make this event a great success. Thank you one and all. And let's think of this, or for me, I can say like this, for me, sustainability isn't about being perfect. I think it's about being honest. We are witnessing a rapid transformation of energy sector. And the biggest change, I think, is people resistance to change, because we are afraid of changes. Every type of action in our lives has an impact on the environment, and we need to start by realizing what it is. I don't expect each of us to account for our every action, but I think at least a basic level of awareness needs to exist. The planet can exist without humanity, but humanity without the planet, without our home, not so much. Thank you. Thank you again to all of you. Thank you, SRIVIDHYA.
Thank you, Ms. Armina. That was wonderful. That was a very beautiful word of thanks indeed. Thanking everybody who is there on this dais and who just made it happen. With that approach to make this world a better place to live in, definitely we are going to meet again for next Sunday on the topic of net zero. So we will keep our fingers crossed with the vibrant speakers like today, and they will be definitely there to pull in with more inputs, insights, and inferences, and their projects as well as instances. Thank you so much. On that note, we take leave for today, and we'll meet you all next Sunday. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
all.
Thank you so much. Yes.
Thank you, one and all. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.